ASMR book club kind of a thing, but that really hasn't happened. But today I kind of want to push towards that goal of having that be a thing. And today we're going to get nerdy, as you can tell from the title of this video, obviously. I have here the Star Wars Complete Visual Dictionary. This was copyrighted in 2006. So obviously the sequel stuff is not going to be in it. But I just kind of want to read a couple of pages from this book, and hopefully you guys will like it. I'm not planning on making this video very long, so if you want more, let me know. And I want to say thank you to my new subscribers. I've got a couple. I got a comment on my Pokemon card sorting video asking if I can do the same with Magic the Gathering. And probably sometime in the future, yes. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your subscriptions. Any and all support that I get is extremely appreciated. I honestly do not expect to get any attention at all from this channel, and the amount that I've gotten so far is extremely appreciated. I thank you guys. So firstly, me being a ginormous Star Wars nerd, which you can probably tell already, I've never actually seen a native Mustafarian. I think they were the people that Kylo Ren was fighting at the beginning of episode 9. I think that was like in the novelization of that movie, but this is what they're supposed to look like. I think that's really interesting. I actually just found this, like, right now. I'm actually going to pause this recording. Okay, I had to change a couple of settings in OBS because I was messing with them earlier, so my bad. So, of course I can't read this entire thing, but we're going to read some of it, just for copyright issues. I don't want to have to deal with that later, but this foreword is from Rob Coleman, the animation director, Lucasfilm Animation, Skywalker Ranch, and it was written October of 2006. He says, I vividly remember seeing the first Star Wars film, along with all the other 13-year-olds. I sat open-mouthed as the blockade runner disappeared into the background, pursued by the never-ending Star Destroyer. My life was changed forever, and I was on a new course. The summer of 1977 was spent reading the novelization of the film and dreaming of the worlds that George Lucas had created. I was already a kid who spent hours drawing underground cities with secret rooms, trapdoors, and amazing hidden vehicles. I was interested in what was happening below the surface and behind the scenes. Star Wars helped to springboard my imagination, and I remember thinking about what was happening just outside of Lucas's camera's view on Tatooine, Dagobah, and Hoth. How did the citizens of those worlds live? If I could go there, what would I see? I was one of the first in line to see The Empire Strikes Back in 1980, and I remember the impact that Yoda had on me. I was fascinated by the oldest and wisest of the Jedi. Like everyone else at the time, I had my own version of Frank Oz's backward Yoda speak, something that I was too embarrassed to share with Frank when we were working together on the digital version of Yoda. That would be so cool to be able to have such a big dream to work on something like Star Wars and then being able to do it later in life. The 1983 release of Return of the Jedi was bittersweet for me. I remember wondering after the film ended whether we would ever see another Star Wars film. We knew that Lucas had written a fabled 9 episodes, but there was only speculation back then as to whether he would ever return to this series. It is now funny to think back to my 19-year-old self, the innocence of not knowing that Industrial Light and Magic would hire me, and that I would spend the better part of 8 years working closely with Lucas on the Star Wars prequels. As the animation director on the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, I was responsible for the digital characters and creatures that inhabited Lucas's wonderful worlds. We started in 1997 with Watto, our cranky junkyard dealer, and we ended in 2005 with the villainous General Grievous. For that entire time, I was focused on our digital creatures and how they interacted with the human characters. To me, it is vitally important that the animators understand that they are actors working behind the scenes. For our animated characters to blend seamlessly with the live-action photography, the animators must breathe a little of their own humanity into the digital characters. We collaborated with George Lucas and the terrific voice actors like Andy Secombe as Watto and Frank Oz as Yoda to produce the animated performances. Visual effects and digital animation is a team event, and we had enormous crews of talented artists and technicians working at Industrial Light and Magic with us to create the amazing scenes you saw up on the movie screen. I love the images in this book. They take me back to a time when I was a young boy drawing pictures of secret buildings and magical worlds. A time when my imagination swept me away. It has been really fun for me to leaf through these pages and remember all of the astonishing places, creatures, and vehicles that have sprung from George Lucas's mind. It is my hope that the images here will inspire you too and take you to back to a galaxy far, far away. Very, very cool. So, right off the bat, they have quite a few interesting things. They have a pod race fans macro binoculars. They have a Nemoidian bird cage, a Tatooine gunman's blaster, and a lot more. See, that is the bronze razor blade, like a shaver thingy for their legs, which is super cool. The Phantom Menace. Founded long ago, the Republic has united countless thousands of star systems under a single far-reaching government. In millennia past, great sections of the Republic fought each other, even as they clung to threads of unity. Peace and justice came to prevail under the protection of the wise and powerful Jedi, who draw on a mystical power known as the Force. Through the guidance of the Galactic Senate, civilization grew and the Republic became prosperous. But the price of comfort was weakness. The institutions of government became decadent, and Jedi numbers dwindled to a mere 10,000. A mere 10,000. Now the Force itself is unbalanced, and great change seems imminent. So, it sounds like to me, because at this time, right, there was only the Jedi. And of course, Plagueis and Sidious were in the shadows. But they weren't out and about. And that kind of tells me that the balance isn't just, one Jedi, one Sith, or whatever. It's the corruption in the Force that the balance refers to. This is Coruscant. Or Coruscant. I've heard people call it that. A world enveloped in a single city. Coruscant is the home of galactic government and the effective center of the known universe. Representatives from all member worlds congregate here to participate in the colossal enterprise of galactic government. From among the thousands within the Senate chamber, the pleas of a single voice must be heard to save the small planet of Naboo from invasion. Whispering for a while actually does hurt my voice, so we're going to change over to gentle speaking. Gentle speaking. Not quite whispering, not quite talking normal. So, on Coruscant, the leadership of the Galactic Senate is served by the Jedi, guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. It is on the decisions and actions of the Jedi High Council that the fate of the galaxy will turn as the forces of darkness begin to gather their strength. Also for this one, let me know which one you prefer, the whispering or the gentle speaking, because I think I can keep this voice up for quite a while. But if whispering is preferred, I can do videos where I whisper. I'll just have to do like 10-15 minutes or so whispering, pause the recording, wait for a while until my voice stops being strained, and then do another 10-15 minutes. I can do that. So just let me know which one you guys prefer. Darth Sidious. The Sith Lord, Darth Sidious, sets into motion the final stages of his Order's 2,000-year-old plan to destroy the Jedi. Working patiently, Sidious has extended his power and influence deep into the galactic government. Under his grasp of psychology and bureaucracy to stifle justice, he brings about the crisis he needs to make his move for domination. Coruscant provides a hiding place for the mysterious Sith. This ancient dark order has been waiting in the shadows, preparing to prey upon the Galactic Republic's time of weakness and usher in a new era of Sith rule. This phantom menace radiates outward from the center, drawing into its web individuals and worlds that lie far beyond Coruscant. So, Sidious is the Phantom Menace. I actually never really thought about it that way. I always thought that the Phantom Menace could refer to either, Darth Maul, because he's the one that jumps out from the shadows. Metaphorically, of course, because he is first seen by the Jedi in broad daylight. Or the looming threat of galactic collapse was the Phantom Menace. But Sidious was the Phantom Menace all along. The Phantom Menace was the friends we made along the way. Perhaps quite literally. Naboo. The provincial and little populated planet of Naboo has benefited greatly from membership in the Republic. Within an idyll of serenity, I've never heard the word idyllic as like a singular word. It's always idyllic, not ideal. Idyll. Idle. I don't know how to say that. Probably idyll. Within an idyll of serenity, Naboo decorative architecture expresses the planet's philosophy of arts and a harmonious way of life. The Naboo have come to regard their privilege as a birthright and do not realize the extent to which they are dependent on the core strength of galactic government to protect them. Only when the crisis descends will they face the frightening realization that the only strength they can depend on is their own. Expressive of Naboo's style in its glistening silver finish and dreamlike, artful contours, the royal starship is nonetheless built around a core of foreign-made engine systems. Naboo society is similarly dependent on outside industry. Oto, is it Oda or Ota? Oto Gunga, like the place where the Gungans are from. Removed from outside contact, the underwater Gungan cities of Naboo glisten like scintillating jewelry. I don't think I've ever heard the word scintillating before, actually. The Gungan capital city, Oto Gunga, prides itself on being independent of foreign influences. Nonetheless, it relies upon a quiet but vital trade with the Naboo. In this, as in the danger they face from the Trade Federation, the Gungans find that they are more connected with outsiders than they confess. The hyperdrive core. A dazzling example of Naboo style, the hyperdrive core of the Royal Starship is an intricate maze of charge planes and effect channels that allows the ship to slip smoothly beyond light speed. When the Nubian-made hyperdrive generator inside the core fails under the energy overloads encountered in battle, the Naboo begin to learn the realities of their dependence on the outside world. I really like that these types of things for not just Star Wars, but also any sci-fi or other universe type of stuff creates these type of designs that look cool, and they try to justify why they look the way that they look, even though that doesn't always make sense. Because you have this hyperdrive core, which I've always wondered how hyperdrives work. There's a part that says core chamber holds Nubian T14 generator. What does that even mean? Another part says hyperdrive effect channels improve supralight performance, not super light, supralight. And I will show you these two little things right there. Like, what? Thank you for the information, but that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I had to burp. Tatooine. Beyond the reach of the Republic are the worlds of the Outer Rim, a frontier where extremes of freedom and slavery coexist. Tatooine is ruled by wealthy trading barons and gangsters. The adobe architecture of Mos Espa looks as rugged and primitive as the planet itself, but the thick walls hide sophisticated interior cooling systems. On Tatooine, not everything is what it seems, as those aboard the Naboo Royal Starship find when they encounter a slave boy named Anakin Skywalker. I just had a thought. None of these people have middle names. Even Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are hyphenated. So what if Anakin's middle name was like Jeffrey? Or Augustine. Augustine? I don't know why I said it that way. I think that would be kind of funny. Let's flip to a random page that looks interesting. I mean, This is a page on Tatooine inhabitants. It says beasts of burden. Tatooine's heat, dust, and sandstorms can damage mechanical transport, but animals make ideal beasts of burden. Dewbacks are used all over Tatooine. Eops are common only around Mos Espa, and banthas are the exclusive mounts of the Sand People, which I still feel like is a slur. At times, Sand People steal guns, but strongly favor traditional club and axe weapons for close quarters combat. Sand People take pot shots at fast-moving pod racers from remote sections of the pod race course, hoping to strand and attack race pilots. So it's not even just that they want to eat people or take their supplies or scavenge. They just like violence. Very good. Indigenous to Tatooine, Jawas have become used to contact with space travelers. Many Jawas act as metal scavengers and equipment repair craft workers. Unlike the Jawas, the native Tatooine Sand People have not adapted to easy contact with outworld settlers. Resentful of incursions in their territory, Sand People prey upon travelers and are known as Tusken Raiders. Renowned for their savagery, Tusken Raiders are lethally dangerous and not to be trifled with. So the little little camel guys, these guys are Eops. Interesting. They have broad feet for sand travel, suspicious looking luggage. Okay. White skin pigmentation reflects sunlight. Flexible snout for uncovering sand lichen that grow just beneath the planet's surface. Isn't lichen like a type of fungus or something? I'm not sure. Oh, we're in episode 2 now. Okay, I actually really want to find a very specific page. Palpatine, Senator Amidala, the growing darkness. Droid types, Zam, Wessel. Coruscant underlevels, nightclubs. Oh, there's the Death Sticks guy. I think that's the Death Sticks guy. Pretty sure that's what that is. Dexter's Diner. Jedi instructors. I am looking specifically. Oh, Kaminoans. For. Come on. Where's my boy? No, is this not. I might be looking specifically for episode 3 version of Count. Yes, I found it. Dooku, Sith Apprentice. The title of Count has no real meaning to Dooku, the former Jedi. It is simply the name of the political leader of the Confederacy of Independent Systems, which itself is nothing more than a fabrication conceived by Darth Sidious as part of his plan to topple the Jedi Order and reinstate the Sith. For more than a decade now, Dooku has thought of himself as Darth Tyrannus, apprentice to Sidious, and destined to sit at his left hand as joint master of the galaxy. On Count Dooku, we see that he has dress boots of rare Rancor leather, costly hand-woven tunic was made on Vyun. I'm going to say that's how you spell or say that. But also, Count Dooku has his signature look of superiority. There's the meme, ladies and gentlemen. That is indeed the meme. I thought I'd be able to read a little bit more than that in just over half an hour, but I was wrong. If I had more time to actually record these things, I would record more than this, but I am actually short on time, and I won't be able to record anything like this for another good while, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want me to read more of this, let me know. If you like my stuff, please leave a like and let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Every little bit of support I greatly appreciate. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bless your big toe. I don't know why I feel the need to say that.